Saturday suffering Sundays. I know Tate says even if the streak ends tonight, you still have RTU's chip, and that's priceless. That is correct. But I mean, let's be honest. It's awesome to keep fucking pissing off my fucking detractors every night. You know how angry they are? Like, I took a day off, and they spent the entire day making clone accounts, brand new accounts with 1 day existence on YouTube to crap on my videos about Stuttering Craig, and to basically fucking like say stupid stuff on Twitter. Like, that was what they did my whole day off. They literally sat there the whole day with fucking new accounts. They're so upset that things are going well for me, they can't handle it. Oh my God. Like, I'm just so tired of this stupid shit. I really am.
This Call of Duty ain't for me.
How? No, that's not.
How are we getting bullied like this? Come on, we're just not pushing it. It almost doesn't even feel fair. Nobody's really helping. It feels like some of these kids have aimbot. You might as well not even try. Dude, you're stepping on razor wire. Some of you guys got to go there. Dude, how? I was practicing. It was a practice game.
Say my name.
Breaking Banquet.
You're goddamn right.
Michael Harris the second.
I feel like I need to pop on your stream when you're ATT. They said they nerfed the Jack when they spawned. It doesn't seem like it.
Oh crap, dude. Where'd you guys go?
Oh, he's laying down right there. I didn't even see him.
Dude, I still get 4-shotted by this Jackal. I thought they were supposed to make it a 5-shot. Whoa.
Oh,
dude, every person I run into is the HVT. See, like, how are we down by like 30 points? I feel like we've done better than that. Damn it.
They're already pushing me. Yeah.
Like, this whole game is just people running around with the Jackal.
One's pushing me, Jordy. Over here.
Dude, why would he just sit there in the middle? Okay. They got a helicopter.
For now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost.
See if I can shoot it down.
Yeah, we put shots on it.
That's not very nice.
I did horrible that game.
Like, you pretty much have to have like the dexterity perk on this game. Nah, I'm a well done type of guy, man. Well done Parmesan crust, grilled onions, and grilled mushrooms. I looked at the game. What type of game is it? Like, I seen somebody like it looked cool. It's still really loud. Like, you didn't listen to my stream and hear it. Hey, like the game started last time I heard you gave your thoughts. You said something was off, but you know what? Last time I played the game, I tried to play it like a Call of Duty. All right, see, I gotta mute you.
Push me a B.
Dude, these guys are sweating. That's not even fun. That might be me, but I've literally been stuck at A for a while now.
Or they have a heli already?
Like, it feels like we're losing all the flags.
Using that.
Oh man, this is rough.
Dude, there's a hostage.
There's this guy on the pool near the hot tub.
Oh,
Come on. I wish you could turn off Omni movement. Just give me Modern Warfare 3 movement. There's a guy in the office above us. We got to get B back, guys. We're not making a decisive push for it.
Covering now.
Down the hot tub. Dude, this man. It almost doesn't even feel fair. I spawned out on C. Why'd we just run through C instead of just take it, man?
I don't know. I was clearing A though.
Right. But we need any time on any flag we can get right now.
I literally had one tick.
Yeah, nobody's really helping. Dude, I fell off the building. Let's go.
Whoa. Yeah, I gotta get this. This shit.
Come on, dude. about to lose.
Yep. Yeah, that's GG.
Dude, I'm
good game.
trying,
Those
man.
kids
I
were
went
cracked.
fucking 50 and 29.
Yeah, using that new SMG.
Everybody did about the same. It ain't even fun like most of the time. Like you gotta change your mindset. You gotta
Just like get mad. It's just stupid.
you just gotta throw your stats out the window, man. That's it. Throw the stats out the window. Like it doesn't even matter. The algorithm will not let you have good stats. Let's play Derelict, dude. Why are we skipping Derelict? It feels like some of these kids have aimbot. Like they're literally like zipping around and there's like 4 in our spawn. Dude, I was trying to get away, dude. Like they like, wow, guy underneath you on the satellite. Dude, Blackout, that's crazy since that game came out recently, like in the last 5 or so years. Blackout says he's got 20,000 hours in Destiny 2.
I'm dead already.
Dude, this man just gunned me.
Alright, next hard point.
Dude,
The next one.
you might as well not even try.
At least I won't get hit markers.
Dude, there's nobody over here? Like, Eli Bean is just sitting AFK.
Oh my god.
Like, it's almost comical how fast guns in Call of Duty shoot. It just feels like they're just spraying lead at you. Now, Blackout ain't overweight. I've seen a picture of him. Guy behind us. Every time I get my health all the way back, I feel like I won the lottery.
I gotta go away. I lost.
I felt like Cold War plays better than this game.
I just know shit out of that campaign too.
Why did they even add it?
Dude, you're stepping on razor wire. It's like
I know.
it's like dudes just run at you 1,000 miles an hour. Like I'm sure there's a skill gap in this game, but it just doesn't feel like there's one. It just feels like if you run and you constantly run,
Dude.
you'll be 1 for 1.
There's no way you won that, bro.
Both actually? Yeah, he's crazy. I guess I'm gonna get the point win this bitch. He's on the rock. Fuck, dude. We gotta get on that bitch. Get cracked, dude. God damn. He is cracked.
I bet he can't even spell PlayStation.
Oh my gosh, dude. I don't
You
even
can't
think I'm
even
doing
enjoy
this
COD
shit.
anymore, bro.
Yeah.
This is every lobby so far.
How is this dude Trent always in my back, bro?
Because he runs at all times. Like it's
Just, dude, he's behind us. Trin, and like, I'm blocking this dude. Hopefully I don't get in the game with him ever again in my life.
80% of my death.
dude, like, how are we getting bullied like this? What happened? We were winning.
We just gotta get this next point, dog.
Right there, man.
Look, I can tell you, when this game comes out, I'm playing nothing but TDM. TDM and Search, like 14-year-olds with cracked out reflexes.
Pretty busted. When I pop that, I get like 3 kills every.
Alright, man.
Wow.
Like dead serious. Like, come on, we need.
Barely even going positive.
Dog, dude. Dog, we gotta need 10 points, boys. Come on.
Look at this guy, he's killed 5 of us.
Like seriously, like what happened? Like these guys are just dads playing COD after their kids go to sleep? No. Some of you guys got to go. Like easy there, buddy, and like Livester, can you guys leave, please? I failed today. I mean, like what ended up happening is like my wife brought the Little League team over and they threw like 70 balloons at me. And we only had like 100. And then like came like jumped out, jumped in. It's like it is what it is. But this Call of Duty ain't for me. Like Like, it's not designed for my style of play. Black Ops has always been run. Nah, that's not true. Run and gun. You got a guy in the video store. I feel like the second I abandon this left lane is when it's just gonna get run through. Whoa! Why are we taking alpha? We're just gonna flip them. Well, there's no random. We're all, everybody in the party is in the party. The thing I gotta get around my head is I don't need to kill people. I just need to hit them. Like, if they die, I still get the kill. Guy coming in the back of the kitchen. Back of the kitchen, the burger.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure what you're talking about.
Okay, it's clear now. Oh, okay. Oh, I was practicing. That was a practice game. Losing B heavy. It's wow. Spawn flip on behind C. Behind C. Anybody got ammo box? Drug dealer still here whining about his mod taken away. Let's see, it's shitty when a streamer doesn't read the chat once during the game, then glance over and reads one line out of context and continues to ignore chat. I mean, that's pretty much my MO, like, honestly. I mean, I could be like Dr. Disrespect and just never read chat at all, right? What do I think about Dr. Disrespect coming back to 100,000 viewers? Dr. Disrespect coming back and playing Call of Duty 05 Maxima is the reason it gave me faith to play this game again, because I realized I was better than he was. I mean, certified crane operator. How many views you got, Playboy?
0.
Nah, I'm sure he has like at least one account in there to try to bump his numbers up.
So much packet.
Oh, he got me. I'm down in front of me.
That is get shot through a wall.
We spawned opposite side.
All right, somebody else is it now.
Damn.
Yo, this Clinton guy.
This is one of those lobbies where like
Down the HBT.
it's one of those lobbies where like the people are just. Come on, dude. Like how?
Oh, the HVT is cracked.
Like does Flak Jacket do anything?
It's fucking.
Dude, I'm getting knifed. I'm HBT. Oh no. Oh no.
Yo, one of these fags is just sitting in.
We shouldn't use that language.
Alright, I'm sorry. One of these retards.
What?
Probably still not good. Try again.
Okay. A fag, no retard. Got it.
He's in the middle. Oh, he's almost hurt. Oh, good job,
Dude,
good job.
this game's packet burst is like, dude, it's gonna kill it. I see 3 enemies and I packet burst die.
How did I almost lose that gunfight, bro?
Got naded again. Oh, falling. Oh, damn.
It's like a sweat fucking.
On my screen.
We're down by 7, by the way. Dude, how?
Wow.
No, almost.
Dude. I joined it late.
The trolls tried to bring Junebug down to their level like the Joker and Two-Face. I mean, you gotta quit worrying about the trolls. Yeah, I'll be back on the next episode, dude. I'm not even off the show.
Yeah, it's.
Dude, I was behind the corner, bud. Let's see this. Okay.
No, back up.
Oh, it's hard point.
Damn.
Nah, bro.
Damn. 2 guys coming in the back. 2 guys coming straight in the back.
First.
No, you definitely
Dude.
bro. It helps with visual recoil too.
It feels like I'm not trying to push these guys, but it feels like there's like 5 dudes in my face at all times. Dude, look at this mug.
Bad man. Shit.
Jeez.
Dude, dude, I am getting.
I go from like 4 to like.
Dude,
Fucking so
this Johnny guy. Please, somebody finish him off, dog. He had to be one shot. We're about to lose.
14.
Anybody else throwing up?
Dude.
Dude, Johnny is a camping pussy, dude.
Johnny doesn't camp to me. Johnny just jumps in my face. Dude.
Yeah, one's in their spawn.
One thing I noticed is that nobody misses you on this map ever. There's never like a misplay.
You can't like turn on people either. You just die.
Dude, this little Reese guy. Dude, Johnny just happens to. Johnny feels like he's cheating, honestly. Like,
Yeah, it's sus.
If I didn't see like the kill feed and have Johnny get anything but a hit, because I feel like he's killed me every time with a headshot.
Same.
How? No, that's not. What was that?
Jesus Christ.
I can use smoke, man. His stems.
Yeah, I've been saying there's no access to them whatsoever.
Well, this one is not.
Alright, I need to find this stars. What a weirdo. Oh, what?
Dude, like.
I instantly die, bro.
Dude, the skill-based matchmaking. No, I'm not being facetious, dog. Like I'm going up against dudes, right?
There's steel bros.
That I literally
Just
put
as good as us.
4 or 5 shots into the guy's like upper chest head area and lose the gunfight in less than a second.
I got the guy in the truck. Instantly dead.
What's the point of having all this movement if you die like in nanoseconds? Chaotic's fighting for his life. There goes Chaotic down. Here comes 2 people. Whoa! I'm on a.
I just
Spawned right on that guy, Jordy.
I don't mind this map. This map's alright. Ben knew that. Take B. Come on, let's go. Get out of there.
Dude, this guy just sits up here the whole time, man.
The truck.
No, this guy over here.
B.
Oh
my God.
Nah, the game gives you wall hacks.
Alright, you just wet pussy.
Dude, I am.
There's stairs there.
Oh my lord. Dude, how do you know?
Okay. Wings is a maniac.
Dude, I spawned on C. And not only did it that, it gave me my recon perk.
Yep.
Dude, I should just let it rip. But like that's my problem is I wait for shots. I'm done.
How did he know I was right there?
Wow, disgusting.
This is why I tell you all the time, I don't have the gift of prophecy, okay? I guess read more than you did about what America did back then, because ain't nobody is changing the system, dog. So they keep doing it. Nixon did it too, and so did Reagan. Okay, let's just hear what he had to say about how he broke the Democratic Party.
People don't really talk about what Reagan did to the Democrats, mainly because their evolution is more like a series of reactions to Reagan's popularity and policies. But there's a strong case to be made that without Reagan's political victories, the left-leaning party would be leaning a lot more left. But it's not all Reagan's fault. In fact, you can pin a lot of it on Jimmy Carter. Sorry, I know we all love the old elfish codger. Well, with the peanuts and the guinea worm eradication and the house building and the huge dick. So Long Jim came into office right at the end of both the Vietnam War and the Watergate scandal. Needless to say, people were fairly suspicious of public institutions.
The relationship between humans and whales has, as you are well aware, been fraught as of late. Or more accurately, the whales have finally started treating humans with the same level of respect that we've been treating them with for the past several hundred years. And amidst all this human-whale conflict, there have been some exceptions. Back in 2019, over in Norway, a mysterious beluga whale appeared and captured the world's attention. And this was no Moby Dick. This was one unusually friendly beluga whale, but it also sure seemed like it might be a Russian spy.
Welcome back to Weekly Animal News, because it's the funnest weird news to talk about. The stakes are generally somewhat low, and there's weird shit going on in the animal kingdom. It is undeniable at this point.
Something is afoot. Here's a report from back then from The Guardian.
Marine experts in Norway believe they have stumbled upon a white whale that was trained by the Russian Navy as part of a program to use underwater mammals as a special ops force. Fishermen in waters near the small Norwegian village of Inga reported last week that a white beluga whale wearing a strange harness had begun to harass their fishing boats. We were going to put out nets when we saw a whale swimming between the boats, Fisherman Joel Heston told Norwegian broadcaster NRK. It came over to us, and as it approached, we saw that it had some sort of harness on it.
The strange behavior of the whale, which was actively seeking out the vessels and trying to pull straps and ropes from the sides of the boats, as well as the fact it was wearing a tight harness, which seemed to be for a camera or weapon, raised suspicions among marine experts that the animal had been given military-grade training by neighboring Russia. Inside the harness, which has now been removed from the whale, were the words, "Equipment of St. Petersburg." The fisherman said the whale was very tame and seemed used to human beings. If this whale comes from Russia, there is great reason to believe it, then it is not Russian scientists, but rather the Navy that has done it, said Martin View of the Institute of Marine Research in Norway.
The dead giveaway was that it was wearing a beanie, no matter what time of year it was. This beluga whale.
Yeah.
Yeah. And under
that
that
beanie
beanie,
to listen to its podcast.
under that beanie, totally bald. Or a wire, or an FBI wire. We're not sure yet. So the idea of a spy whale, while sounding ridiculous, apparently is a thing that both Russia and the U.S. have been doing for decades. What was it, Austin Powers, they made fun of it? There's a bunch of media out there.
Where Austin Powers is like laser sharks.
Yeah, but the same concept. Putting a weapon on a flying animal's head and having it attack your opponents it's mocked, but it's based off of some shred of reality.
There's a shred of truth.
But why send out manned submarines or submersible drones when an inconspicuous whale or dolphin can be trained to do the job just as well without attracting attention? And this is unless the whale gets so annoyed about having all that gear strapped to it that it runs right to the enemy and begs them to remove it.
Damn it.
Yeah. Anyways, after removing the equipment, the whale stuck around, and locals started calling him Valdemir, a portmanteau of the Norwegian word for whale, Val, and Vladimir, as in Putin. Valdemir seemed to enjoy all the attention that he was getting, and even at one point retrieved the iPhone of a woman he dropped into the water while filming him.
Yeah.
Oh, let me go get that for you.
Don't worry, I'm a trained whale.
It's cool that he escaped Russia and was immediately embraced and loved.
He's a defector.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like we have been talking about, treated them with the respect that they treated him with.
Yeah.
Or her. Is this a man or a...
I think it's a guy.
Okay.
I'm assuming they figured that out at some point.
I feel like Russia would be sexist and only train a male beluga whale. So
I don't know. I mean, Russia was the first country to allow women to fight on the front lines of their armed forces. So
way to go. Way to be progressive.
Yeah. Anyway, soon there were differing theories about Valdemir's origin, with some believing him to have been at one point used as a trained therapy whale in Russia. Apparently that's a thing. Before being used by research scientists rather than the Russian military. But that's obviously less exciting of a story than the whole spy whale angle. So spy whale it was.
Yeah.
Anyways, what was clear was that this was a tame, human-friendly whale living in the wild far from home, which presented some problems. Now, ideally, you want whales to be out in the ocean, being self-sufficient and not becoming dependent on humans. But Valdemir didn't seem to be especially good at finding his own food, so authorities made sure that he was fed while also trying to wean him off of it. Eventually, Valdemir became more self-sufficient and started venturing further away, but multiple government agencies and marine organizations still kept tabs on him to make sure that he was doing all right. And he was doing mostly okay, with plans in place to have him transferred soon up to the Arctic, where he could make some friends with some fellow beluga whales in their natural habitat.
Go make some new friends. We like you.
Yeah.
But you're an animal and you deserve to have a free life with all of your friends out there in the water.
Yeah, so it sounded like there was going to be a happy ending for Valdemir, but those plans would not come to fruition because last weekend, Valdemir was found murdered.
Suspiciously 4 stories below an open window.
I don't know how that whale got up there, but it fell out of that window.
Could you believe it? Tripped and fell on one of its fins.
Yeah.
Yeah, very suspicious.
Here's NPR.
Vladimir, a beloved whale believed to have escaped a past life as a Russian spy, was found dead over the weekend in what animal rights organizations say were unnatural circumstances. Theories about his mysterious past sparked headlines and intrigue, but it was his friendly demeanor that won him scores of admirers in the years that followed. This morning, after receiving a sighting report from a local, our team arrived to find Vladimir floating peacefully in the water, Marine Mind announced on Instagram. It is not immediately clear what caused his death. A necropsy will be conducted to determine his early passing. Vladimir was believed to be between 14 and 15 years old when he died. The average lifespan for a beluga whale is upwards of 30. That hurts.
Cut down in his prime.
And so many lives. They refer to him as a past life as a Russian spy. At just 15, he had at least 2 more lives.
The most interesting whale in the world.
Yeah. So this did not appear to be death by natural causes. And soon the marine organizations watching over Vladimir dropped the bombshell. And here's the Washington Post.
One Whale, a nonprofit specifically founded to protect Vladimir, and NOAA, a Norwegian animal rights group, said this week that they had filed a police report with local law enforcement and the state authorities charged with investigating environmental crimes. While Vladimir's necropsy won't be done for several weeks, the group said they wanted to release his likely cause of death to combat claims that have appeared in the days since his body was found, including that seabirds could have caused the injuries that killed him. Regina Hogg, One Whale's founder, who said she saw blood pouring out of the holes of Vladimir's body and a bullet stuck in another, scoffed at the idea. Unless those seabirds were carrying shotguns, she told the Washington Post, it was immediately clear that someone had shot him. You could see a bullet sticking out of his body.
Veterinarian Siri Martinson, a spokeswoman at NOAA who called Vladimir's death alarming and shocking, said the groups filed reports to put pressure on police in a country where wildlife crimes are almost never solved. She said the animal activists wanted to get the attention of possible witnesses while their memories are fresh, rather than waiting for the completion of the necropsy in 2 to 3 weeks when the events might have faded. It is crucial that the police are involved quickly, she added. Hogg said that she loved Vladimir, whom she described as highly intelligent and loving, like a person. Authorities need to catch whoever killed him as a deterrent to anyone considering something similar in the future, she added. I can't accept the fact that someone wanted to hurt him, Hogg said, choking up. To look at his face and shoot him is just as cruel as a person could be. And I agree.
Yeah.
This is horrible.
It's like, and like the beluga whale, out of all the whales, like this is one that nature designed to be like, look at this guy.
It's a
He's got
happy-
a big old smile on his face.
Yeah.
He's just a goofy guy. He's all white all over. Don't let him stay out in the sun too long. And yeah, someone was like, look, you gotta die. But, you know, Vladimir, he did betray his mother country. You can't,
Treasonous.
yeah, you can't do something like that. You can't turn double agent on Russia and expect to, you know, walk away with your life.
Of all the really messed up reasons that a third world war could kick off, I think this is almost justified.
The Third World War and the First Whale War.
Yes. But certainly not the last.
Whale War One.
I'm sure that our country, as well as theirs, are trying to figure out how they can weaponize orcas right as we speak.
Yeah, we've seen what they're capable of.
Yeah,
Imagine if you had control over that.
Yeah.
A whole pod of orcas?
They can do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this is incredibly sad.
It is.
And fucked up. Especially when Vladimir was so close to getting sent back to his natural habitat. And leading...
And making friends.
Yeah. Yeah, he's so lonely.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, these humans are cool, but I'm the only one. The leading theory seems to be that while Vladimir's friendliness was enjoyed by a lot of people, it was not enjoyed by commercial fishermen who viewed him as a nuisance and a threat to their livelihoods. Vladimir had become pretty self-sufficient, but he also knew that fishing boats tended to be near where all the fish were. So it's possible that some fishermen finally had enough of this whale always following them around and getting in the way. Still crazy to imagine killing a friendly whale for being too friendly, but it makes sense, I guess.
How could it be possibly eating enough fish to make a dent in their...
I think maybe it was like scaring the fish away. I don't know.
You don't just shoot away.
Like, you're out there on your fishing boat. It's got to be the most boring fucking job in the world. And this whale comes along, keep you company. Sounds like a dream. A rare treat. Very few people get to enjoy such a close encounter with a friendly beluga whale. And what do? You fucking shoot it?
If it turns out to be a Norwegian who did this, I'm going to lose a lot of respect for the Norwegian community.
Yeah.
Even more than when I lost respect for all their black metal bands turning racist.
That too. That's the only thing I really know about Norway.
Yeah, well, what goes on up there? Well, whale killing and burning of state churches.
Yeah, really cool state churches. So yeah, I mean, hopefully whoever did this gets brought to justice. Hopefully they blabbed to all their friends about killing that whale and someone spilled the beans. But yeah, it doesn't seem especially promising. The best we can probably hope for is that those orcas sink a couple of boats in retaliation. This one's for Valdemir. But, you know, that's just the cycle of human whale violence continuing to turn. It's not good long term.
It's crazy how many updates to this ongoing saga we have across the globe and with multiple different species.
Yeah, and we are supposedly on the cusp of being able to have conversations with these guys in, like, the next decade.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to have a lot to say.
I think they will too. Hey, stop fucking around up there.
There's like a whole ethical debate about like how, you know, first of all, should we do this? And second of all, like, how do you introduce yourselves to the whales? How do you do it in a way where...
First of all, I'm sorry. It wasn't just me.
Yeah.
All of us up here collectively have let you down since our very existence.
Yeah, it's been a real bad couple, I don't know, 1,000 years, so... That's on us.
Yeah. Now we can point out a lot of companies and people who are directly responsible for your big ocean getting hotter.
We can tell you specifically who did this.
Yes, and you know, sure, we can strap you to one of those Boston Dynamics dogs and send you on your way. You can go find them. But right now, I just want to shake your fin and say, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's step one, I guess.
Yeah.
Truth and reconciliation.
And then do you, if things don't go well, do you take the voice away? And what ethical concerns can rise from that?
I mean, maybe they don't want to talk to us.
What if you don't like what you hear?
Yeah.
Are you just going to take the voice away?
You're breaking up, sorry. We'll try again later.
You just start making up a language the dolphins don't understand?
Goo gaga.
No, we know that one too. So yeah, R.I.P. Valdemir. You were too pure for this world. But anyways, let's move on to some less upsetting news from the world of U.S. politics.
Oh, good.
Over in North Carolina, they've got a gubernatorial election coming up in November. And with current Governor Roy Cooper term limited, the race is between State Attorney General Josh Stein, a Democrat, and Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson, a Republican. And folks, if Mark Robinson wins, he will be America's first Coomer governor. Coomer, Gooner. He's got it all.
He is a Coomer and a Gooner.
Or at least the first governor credibly accused of, at least at one point, having an insatiable appetite for pornography.
He's not the first one to do it, but the first one where we might have some evidence that
we're coming up. We're coming up on the anniversary of one of the most important days in United States history.
9/11, the day that Ted Cruz jerked off to porn.
Not only that,
on Twitter, porn of his wife, or a woman that looked like his wife.
You know, you got to give him credit for that.
Yeah.
The other thing is we currently have a sitting Speaker of the House whose apparent pornography addiction is so bad that he has given access to his son so that they can monitor each other's porn habits.
Yeah. I mean, that's just father-son. That's what you do as a father and a son. You make sure the other person gets a notification on their phone anytime you pull up.
Hey, these guys are just plain weird. So, the North Carolina news site, The Assembly, published a scandalous report this week in which workers and customers at multiple adult video stores said that the lieutenant governor was a regular customer back in the 90s and the early 2000s, which, to be clear, is mainly scandalous because Mark Robinson is the type of Republican to absolutely call that kind of thing degenerate and ungodly.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that thinks, you know, acknowledging the existence of gay people to children is essentially giving children pornography.
It's a classic case of doth protest.
He describes a lot of, pretty much everything he doesn't like, he calls pornography. So it is ironic that actual pornography was apparently, it took up quite a bit of his time back in the day.
Someone's going to do an interview and he's going to open up the garage door and just like a dozen fake fannies are going to fall out. Just flopping all over the ground.
I can explain.
A fleshlight goes bouncing down the driveway.
Just a rack of VHSs. Yeah. Oh, geez. Anyway, here's some of that report. In his 2022 memoir, We Are the Majority, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson wrote that he committed his life to Jesus in the late 1980s. I did not, however, experience a drastic conversion like some do, wrote Robinson, now the Republican nominee for governor. My behavior did not immediately reform. They say sin is fun for a season, and I was in that season. Robinson didn't specify how long that season lasted or what sins it entailed. But according to Louis Money, who worked in several of Greensboro's windowless 24-hour video pornography stores, Robinson was a frequent customer in the 1990s and early 2000s. Money, 52, told the assembly that Robinson came in as often as 5 nights a week to watch porn videos in a private booth. 5 other men who said they were former employees or customers during this period also told the assembly that Robinson visited 2 of these stores, Gents Video and News and I-40 Video and News.
They almost ruined Pee Wee Herman's career over this thing, and now this guy's trying to be a Republican governor.
The late, great Pee Wee Herman.
I know. This is so aggravating. Aggravating.
It is like, this is also such an interesting reminder that up until 20 years ago, if you wanted to jack off and you wanted some inspiration, you had to go down
some privacy.
You had to go down to a brick and mortar building and actually interact with other human beings.
Well, just a little bit, yeah.
I mean, you had to talk to at least one point.
And he was going there enough that they remembered it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just had to be okay with that. Yeah, you had to be okay with at least one other person knowing that you are about to crank your hog. Or just crank your hog.
And that person, probably the same one who cleaned up after you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that report continues. In addition, Money said Robinson purchased hundreds of bootleg porn videos that Money sold on the side. He was good for at least one a week, Money said.
Jesus.
Woo! I gotta have some, I've already cranked it enough to this one. I need something new. But Money said Robinson didn't pay for the last one, which he described as a compilation of super hardcore films he acquired in New York City that were too risque to be sold in North Carolina. He said he doesn't really care about the $25 Robinson owes him for that tape, nor is he trying to derail the Republicans' campaign for governor. An unaffiliated voter, he said he likes Robinson as a person, if not necessarily his politics. But what he described as a funny story offered an opportunity for self-promotion. In mid-August, Money's band, Trailer Park Orchestra, released a YouTube video for their song, The Lieutenant Governor Owes Me Money. In the video, an actor in a dark suit and something approximating a Robinson mask walks into an adult video store to buy porn while Money sings, I made you a bootleg. I did it all the time. Most of the time you paid me. I guess it slipped your mind. Bangers. Bars. Yeah, cool. Also, this guy just admitting that he's copying and selling tapes on the side.
What's the statute of limitations on that?
I'm sure it's up, but it is funny to be like, yeah, I was committing a couple crimes.
The real Money was selling bootleg DVDs on the side.
He was going up to New York for the good stuff.
Yeah.
It's like going across the county line for the crazy fireworks they won't sell over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're cooming this much, the vanilla shit they got down there in North Carolina, it's not enough. So that's why you send a scout up to the north, up to the city of sin, New York City, to bring the good stuff down, the super hardcore stuff, and then make a bunch of VHS copies that he sells for $25 a pop.
I like how he is unable to even say a bad word because he's like, I got a lot. That guy put a lot of food on my table.
We had a lot of good times together.
Yeah, he's basically a friend.
Yeah, he was my best customer.
He was seeing this guy more than I see some of my best friends.
Yeah. And the article, they at least partially back up the claim about the money and just these 2 guys knowing each other with a Facebook post from 2022 by Louis Money. He had run into Mark Robinson at a Planet Fitness after not seeing him for many years and had taken a picture together, which he posted with the caption, I disagree politically with this guy. However, we've always been cool. That's our lieutenant governor, who still owes me money, lol.
Woo! This is a story that he has no doubt told at every bar that he has been to.
Hey, that guy owes me $25. Ask me what for.
Buy me a drink and I'll tell you.
Anyways, most of the article is about Mark Robinson's political, professional, and spiritual journey towards potentially being North Carolina's next governor. But all you really need to know is that this guy apparently found Jesus at some point, and now is just constantly spouting the same anti-woke bullshit as every other Republican, which is somewhat at odds with his years as, allegedly, a guy who jacked off in a booth on a regular basis. And here's some more on that from the article.
Gents didn't rent porn videos, Money said. Customers could only buy them for about $50 or preview them in private booths for $8 a pop. Robinson typically watched 2 or more previews in a visit, Money said. Every night that I worked, which would have been 5 nights a week, I saw Mark, Money recalled. He was spending a good amount of money. This went on for several years, Money said. Robinson came in after his shifts at pizza restaurants and hung out for hours. He said Robinson's tastes were fairly standard for a straight man, though he added, I know he might have problems with gay people, but I don't think he has problems with lesbians. That would be, at least publicly facing, the case for, I would say, 90% of Republicans who are against pornography or any LGBTQ stuff.
Yeah.
Scott Andrews said he worked at I-40 and played in a rap rock band with Money. He said Robinson was a pretty regular customer in the mid to late 1990s. He would talk for 10, 15, 20 minutes about every time he came in there, Andrews said. We talked about music. Ken Burwell, who said he also worked at I-40, said Robinson came in often around 1996 and 1997. He said that he remembered Robinson because Robinson brought them free pizzas from Papa John's even when he didn't rent videos. He was a cool dude, Burwell said. He wasn't an asshole like he is now. Maybe he should start watching porn again.
This was like his local community. This was he would show up with a fresh pizza pie for the boys down at the porn shop.
Yeah,
because you work up a sweat in there. You need nutrients. Keep going.
So it's humid in North Carolina. Gets hot in the summer times. I love that it is specifically Papa John's pizza.
Yeah. Papa bless.
Yeah, it sounds like these guys miss their friends.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, he was really cool. He was funny. Sometimes, he'd go in, he'd jerk off, and then he'd come out and he'd just hang out for like a half hour and we'd shoot the shit.
Yeah.
Because, it really clears the mind. A bunch of guys who have just ejaculated hanging out. It's a real high-level conversation.
Yeah, they have nothing else to focus on.
The neurons are just working way better.
And that's the problem now. He's all backed up.
Yeah, he's all backed up. That's why he's had all these terrible thoughts of his.
Yeah.
I think there's one point in the article where they say, he would also sometimes, he'd bring his own pizza and just, go into the booth to eat while watching porn. So I don't know if he's multitasking or if he just...
I work up an appetite.
Or he's just doing the Gooner thing of, not even jacking off. Just, the Kanye West thing of just, I need porn playing at all possible moments.
I was watching it for the plot. Proof by the fact that I brought a lunch with me and was in there for several hours.
Yeah.
It would have been dust before long.
Hey, I'm going to let you in on a pizza industry secret. That grease, better than anything you can get down at the adult bookstore.
Oh, my God.
Let me tell you that. Trust me. That's a Mark Robinson guarantee. I hope none of this ever comes back to bite me in the ass many years from now when I'm running for governor of this state, North Carolina. Anyway, that's potentially the next governor of North Carolina, so cool.
Yeah.
But moving on now to potentially the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. We've been pretty clear about the fact that Kamala Harris can and should be doing a lot more to win over voters than just using the same pitch that Joe Biden used in 2020, which was basically, I'm not Donald Trump. Okay, that's good. What else you got? Her website still does not even have platforms on it.
Yeah, she's put out policy positions or whatever, but yes, it is noticeably absent from the website that you would be directing potential voters
It's
to.
just basic shit. Give me the breakdown of what you plan to actually do as president in one convenient place where if someone who is maybe thinking about who they're going to vote for this election can look it up and compare it to what the other side is doing. Real basic shit, and she hasn't done it, and it's very weird. Anyway, even if you see Harris as, at best, the lesser of two evils,
which I do,
there is still a world of difference there. And this was reiterated this past week when Trump pitched something for his second term that is somehow even more dystopian and horrifying than Project 2025. And that would be letting Elon Musk run the government. Yes, we potentially have that to look forward to, depending on how this election goes. Here's the Washington Post.
Former President Donald Trump on Thursday endorsed a government commission that could give Elon Musk broad responsibilities auditing federal spending and regulations, tightening their pre-election alliance during a wide-ranging speech in which he also made some misleading or baseless claims on economic policy. Trump's advisors have discussed the commission for months, and Musk has publicly expressed interest in it on X, the social media platform he owns. Trump, the Republican presidential nominee, formally expressed his support during a speech here. This commission will develop an action plan to totally eliminate fraud and improper payments within 6 months, Trump said, adding that the new commission would save trillions of dollars.
Trillions.
Budget experts have said it is possible a commission could identify tens of billions or possibly hundreds of billions of dollars in government spending cuts, but that it is not credible to imagine the commission cutting trillions of dollars without severely affecting federal services. Trump said Musk has agreed to head the task force and credited him for the recommendation of the panel. Musk didn't immediately respond to a request for comment.
Yeah, he just sent a poop emoji. So yeah, this is a terrible idea on multiple levels.
Just not even a bad idea.
Obviously.
Not even just a bad idea, but after all the shit that happened this week and the potential of more, I would say that I don't really trust Elon Musk operating a rocket ship company. I am not sure that I would like him at the head of that.
No.
And I would assume that if stuff comes out about him eventually, that could be taken away from him.
So yeah, I mean, just scrolling through Elon's Twitter feed these past few months reveals a man whose brain has become so cooked by right-wing misinformation garbage that it's barely distinguishable from your average boomer who records videos yelling about immigrants alone in his truck wearing sunglasses. Except it's actually even more deranged than that. Like this 4chan post that Elon recently approvingly shared to Twitter, which read, "People who can't defend themselves physically, women and low-T men, parse information through a consensus filter as a safety mechanism. They literally do not ask, is this true? They ask, will others be okay with me thinking this is true? This makes them very malleable to brute force manufactured consensus. If every screen they look at says the same thing, they will adopt that position because their brain interprets it as everyone in the tribe believing it. Only high-T alpha males and neurotypical people, audits, are actually free to parse new information with an objective, is this true filter. This is why a republic of high-status males is best for decision-making. Democratic, but a democracy only for those who are free to think."
This guy should be nowhere near any levers of power.
Absolutely fucking not.
Also, the government agency that he has concocted that he will presumably run literally is an acronym that spells Doge. It's like the Department of Government.
Fuck off!
Yeah,
no!
It's so. We can't let this happen. So fucking yikes. But in addition to being a 4chan fascist, the even more ridiculous aspect of the idea of giving Elon Musk a prominent role in the U.S. government is that we've already seen what happens when he gets put in charge of something completely outside of his wheelhouse and then tries to make it more efficient. He fired most of Twitter's workers for efficiency's sake, and within a year, devalued the company to less than half what he paid for it. The man who bought a company whose business is ad sales and alienated all its biggest advertisers. And that's just a social media platform. Imagine Elon Musk trying to make the U.S. government more efficient. Terrifying. Also, he was like, great things coming for Argentina.
Yeah, it's his political instincts are especially bad.
You would assume that any normal person, he's not normal, but any person would have, at least some correct guesses.
Yeah, it's remarkable. This is more terrifying than anything else Trump has pitched.
And then when he does have a good guess, which is that people would be open to the idea of switching to electric cars if there were infrastructure and nice cars built around it, he fucking just throws that away.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm gonna make the ugliest fucking car. I'm gonna make everyone hate me so that it actually drives down the value of the stock.
And then I'm gonna stop expanding my charging network at a time when it's needed the most. And I'm gonna make the entire R&D department of my company take a break on updating all of the cars in our lineup that have been stagnant for almost a decade and have them design the stupidest car ever fucking invented. Yes, put that man in charge of the government.
We can't let this happen.
I am shook by this.
And that's on top of all of the massive conflicts of interest, obviously, that such a situation would create, since there's zero chance that he relinquishes any control or financial stake in his many companies, some of which are literal government contractors or receive government subsidies.
He's gonna fucking, oh my God, he's gonna make Grok in charge of the IRS.
Which, by the way,
Buckle up, buckaroo. Here's your taxes.
Which, by the way, funding the IRS is the biggest return on investment that any government program could get. In fact, there was just a report that they found an obscene amount of money from companies that hadn't paid throughout the entire fucking pandemic.
Yeah, no, it's the funniest thing. That's why
they don't want it.
That's why the right wing pushed back on that so much. They're like, oh my god, the IRS is gonna be showing up at your door with guns. Like, no, they don't have to. They have more people to like actually audit your taxes and find out if you're lying. And if you're a normal person, 99% of the population who fills out one fucking form with your W-2, this does not apply to you.
Absolutely not.
This is for rich assholes who are trying to hide their money.
It's like the $100 million thing that Kamala's proposing, but which that's a whole different can of worms because the way that that's being portrayed in the media is completely false.
Yeah, they're like, this applies to probably 10 people.
But getting back to this though, the IRS thing, the reason that it needs to be funded is because these rich assholes and giant companies will immediately take all of this stuff to court, and that's why they need the money because they have to have a way to combat this.
Right.
It's the best return on investment you could get. Is literally funding the IRS.
Yeah,
That's government efficiency.
That plus the FTC. That's really Biden's like greatest accomplishment.
And that's why they don't want this shit, and that's why they're doing these absurd claims.
Yeah. None of this shit is for you.
No.
This is all for their rich asshole friends. It's
just when think about November and then think about Elon Musk in charge of any government bureau.
It literally I got cold in my chest when I saw this.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. No. This cannot happen.
So yeah, this would be really, really bad. And if you very understandably can't think of a great reason to want Kamala Harris to be the next president, at least consider the fact that she won't appoint Elon Musk as Secretary of Efficiency or whatever. The DOGE, the Doge man. It's insane. This man has fucking lost his mind.
Yeah. Also, Anthony Blinken said he's not going to come back.
Hey,
it's fucking great.
Great, get out of here.
I hope bad things happen to him. I hope he suffers for the rest of his fucking life. But hopefully she doesn't replace him with just another wannabe Henry Kissinger.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. But anyway, it's time for the headlines half of the show. The funniest, weirdest, wildest headlines from around the world.
Yeah. But first, hit the like button.
Oh yeah, this is not a sponsored episode.
Click the join button if you want to support the channel.
So you
Leave
get
a
that
thank
engagement
you.
up.
Yeah.
Engage with this episode, please. Like, comment, subscribe.
Now here's the craziest headlines. Here you go, Elliot.
Scandal hit Fire Festival is back with tickets at nearly $8,000. Once. Again.
He is claiming, Billy McFarland is claiming that tickets are already flying off the shelf.
He has not scheduled a date, a place.
He should say that Oasis is playing.
I mean,
we've got Oasis, Charlie XCX, we've got Chapel Roan. They're all going to be there, and it's going to be amazing.
I mean, he's playing it pretty close to the chest here. I don't even know if this is true. He's saying that the tickets have already sold. I don't know who's paying $8,000 for tickets to an event that they haven't revealed where it is, when it is, who's playing, anything.
You're gonna want to be there.
But he did say, he's like, I teamed up with a events promotion company who will not be named, but they have a 51% stake in this, so it's all gonna be on level. But I'm like, well, why wouldn't you just say me?
That's kind of mean.
I mean, that would be interesting. I'm not sure I can see the angle, but sure, they got the money for it.
By the way, on that, according to the news reports that have come out in the past 24 hours, there's hundreds more.
Yeah.
That are going to get named. So that's exciting.
Yeah. What a scandal.
Yeah. Apparently, that New Norm show. I haven't seen the paper trail on this, but people are claiming online that the New Norm show has some funding or has some exposure.
Dave Rubin is one of the voices of the show.
At least indirectly, then you would assume.
That would be very funny.
Allegedly.
What about Mr. Burcham?
I don't know.
No, that was funded by Dave.
The New Norm one never even aired. It was like a trailer, and it had.
No, they played an episode.
Oh, okay. Elon Musk was in it.
Yeah, it's like 2 minutes long. It's the worst thing I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
And that was 3 or 4 months ago. I think they even got billboards for it, but I don't think there's even been a second episode yet.
Even the Russians were like, this isn't performing. This is not doing numbers.
This is not good.
Next headline, though. Woman claims Kanye West telegraphically told her to steal car with child inside. Telegraphically?
He got on that telegraph and just started beep, bop, booping, and I got the message.
Yeah.
And I had to learn what the beeps and boops meant because, why would I know that? But I eventually decoded it, and it said, hey, this is me, Kanye West. Kanye West. You're going to need to steal a car with a child inside for me.
She did mean telepathically, I'm assuming.
I'm guessing. But hey, who knows? But yeah, this is the thing.
Do you think 2 people with 2 Neuralinks would be able to talk telepathically?
2 people that take enough medical grade nitrous
Nitrous, please.
Can accomplish anything.
I see those bottles everywhere now. They're like when you...
Oh, the store-bought ones that are like...
The giant ones with the little like...
The ones that are clearly marketed as like...
It says like party tube or something on
what
it?
the fuck? How is this shit legal?
It is clearly exploiting a loophole that needs to be closed immediately.
I mean, it's like... At least with like Duster... Like, no one is selling Duster labeled as, like, fun gas.
Yeah, and I think after a while, like, Office Max and Staples had to start being like, okay,
yeah,
you got to show your ID, and we got to scan it if you want to buy this 20-pack of fucking Duster.
Yeah, I mean, you go to the fucking smoke shop for, like, some rolling papers, and there's just a rack of fucking flavored nitrous oxide tanks.
I see them on the side of the road. Not like covering everywhere, but I do see them frequently.
So people are doing that while they're fucking driving, tossing it out the window?
Maybe they're in the car having I'm sure everyone's on the nitrous though. But it is crazy to see that. It's probably going on for a while with the big party things, but like so recently being more and more frequent, it's actually very scary.
Yeah, it's not good.
Don't ever do that.
Con artist Anna Sorokin to join Dancing with the Stars. With ankle bracelet. This is that Anna Delvey girl.
Okay.
Who I haven't seen the Netflix show, but I'm vaguely familiar with the story, and I don't think she did anything wrong. She exposed this great loophole in American society where if you pretend to be rich, people just give you stuff for free without asking for anything in return at point of sale.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of your fault for letting this woman have a hotel room without even getting a fucking credit card on file. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool crime that she did.
There's a story about the guy who like faked it till he made it. The guy that like ended up buying the hockey team.
Yeah.
The Islanders.
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing.
And they're like, hey, and everyone loved him.
Yeah. I love this guy, and the best thing about him is he's super fucking rich. So anytime he asks for anything, he's good for it.
Yeah. So here's a hockey team.
But yeah, she would just like go to like high-class bars in New York and be like, hi, I'm Anna Delvey. I'm very rich. I'm an heiress. What's up? Can I borrow that? I'm an heiress, so I'm good for it. And they're like, yeah. Hell yeah.
I mean, retroactively, because of the press that this got, I would say this performed better than any influencer who's getting free trips.
Yeah, and more ethical.
Yeah.
More ethical than anything.
The only people being duped deserve it.
Victimless crime. So let her dance.
Yes. Yeah. Excited.
Scientists use food dye found in Doritos to make see-through mice.
The implications here are limitless.
And Ricky, can you guess which food dye it is?
Is it like Red 5 or something?
Close.
I don't know the numbers. Is it red? It's red something?
It's one that we used to worry about a lot.
Yellow 5 or
That's
yellow?
right. It's yellow 5, the one that makes your penis shrink.
They said that would make you sterile back in the 90s.
That's what they said.
And that because it was in Surge.
In Mountain Dew, yeah. But yeah, no, apparently yellow 5, if you inject that into skin, it does something to the pigments and makes you temporarily translucent. So they got all these mice, and you can like see their organs and shit. And yeah, I don't really
There's a lot of fires happening today. I don't know if you guys can hear it on the video.
Yeah, it's just been sirens all day.
It is like 110 degrees out here. So
it's awful.
But yeah, I saw a great video the other day. This guy in India, his friend tells him that he had the best thing that's ever happened to him was he tried Mountain Dew. And so the guy travels to the city, and he has to go to like 5 stores to find a can of Mountain Dew. He finally finds it, and he like enjoys it, and he's like, yeah, it is really that good.
I think I missed it, but this week Taco Bell was selling Baja Blast flavored gelato.
Oh.
If you ordered through the app.
You know they have they have one downtown that does, I don't drink, but they have Baja Blast frozen margaritas downtown. At Taco Bell Cantina.
Oh, the Cantina, yeah. I've still never been to a Cantina.
Well, it's pretty hot out. Maybe you should get yourself a Baja margarita.
I had
I'll take a virgin one, please.
my local brewery was selling cider slushies last night, and I was like, this is the drink for right now. Because it was 9 p.m. and still 95 degrees. I'm like, this is hitting the fucking spot.
I don't do this very often, but I did not want to leave, so I did order Uber Eats, and I got a milkshake with my order, and it was
No. That's just milk. You got a cup of cream.
I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. That it would survive. And I was carrying it, and it's sloshing out of me. It was just worst $6 I've ever spent.
Yeah.
The food was fine, and it was nice and hot sitting out
Think
there.
that one through.
The milkshake was...
A room temperature cup of cream, flavored cream.
Just to let everyone know, the past 2 days here, it has been hotter in LA than in Las Vegas and Dubai.
Yeah. No, it's truly awful.
It got up to like 115 in the valley. Here where we filmed, it was like 112. It was at least matched the record for
all you foreigners. It's like high 40s.
It was like 48 or something.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. And I'm like, my back is already covered in sweat.
Yeah, literally covered in sweat all over. It is, and we have the AC trying its best here. But let's move on to another headline so we can get the hell out of here. Drunk Las Vegas woman stole coffin with body from funeral home.
And she had no memory of it.
Well, hey, that's what happens in Vegas.
She turned herself in after seeing her video footage of her on the news, and it's just like, fuck, that must have been me the other night. But yeah, she broke into a funeral home and like wheeled the coffin out the door, and I don't know if it was by accident or on purpose, but she dumps the fucking... She dumped it out just like in the bushes in front of the body. She coffin flopped a body into the bushes and then just like left it there. So whoever came in the next morning, there was a embalmed dead body just in the bushes.
If only she could have hit a really easy trifecta. She coffin flopped, then she goes, oh, motorcycle, and then drove over to Zipzilla or whatever in downtown Vegas and hit the zip line. And then like, I'm only here for the zip line.
Yeah, and then
went
heads on down to McDonald's and orders 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 milks.
And they're like, where'd you get that shirt? She said, damn flashes.
But he's in a car commercial now.
Tim Robbins?
Yeah, and the commercial feels like an I Think You Should Leave sketch.
Sarah Squirm was on an episode of General Hospital. I love all of the millennials infiltrating all media. I think it's
cool.
Great.
Yeah. Soccer player injured after pretty hefty sneeze.
Did he roll on the ground and really sell it?
Yeah. But we thought he was dead.
Oh, get the meat wagon over here. This guy's dying.
Yeah, I mean, when I sneeze, it's pretty hefty. And I can see if I had the physique of a world-class athlete, yeah, you could definitely do some damage with a hefty sneeze.
I can guarantee, even this guy was nothing compared to a boomer who has kids. Those sneezes, it's like they're hamming it up for the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad,
I can pick my
sneezes,
dad's
it's terrifying.
I can pick my dad sneeze out of a line. No problem. My dad goes, action! Like he does the whole, like a word. He puts the word to it.
Yeah. Woo. Conor McGregor scraps the UFC comeback, will instead run for president of Ireland in 2025.
Get fucked. Go fuck yourself.
I don't think they even really like him there.
Yeah, he'd be the president of cocaine.
He has a bad reputation back home. At least among a lot of people, it would seem.
Yeah.
The good news is president of Ireland doesn't really do anything. He's sort of like he's like kind of just a worldwide, like the current guy, I think he's still the current president. But he's like this sort of like elfish-looking man, or like gnome-looking man, who has like big dogs and takes to work. He's just, his whole job is just being charming and being like, yeah, that's Ireland. Meanwhile, the prime minister actually does all the dirty work.
There was a just classic Twitter post this week where someone was complaining about Ireland's support for Palestine. It was like, we need to draw a line through Ireland, and everyone's like, buddy, do I have news for you?
Yeah, we tried that. Didn't work so well.
This LA home was crushed in half. It's now on the market for $500,000. So it's a good price here in LA.
Yeah, a giant 100-year-old tree fell on the house and crushed half of it. It's not even in the city of LA. It's in like Monrovia. But yeah, that is the literal like floor price of just the land.
Yeah, that's
And it's $500,000 or
Looks like terrible.
an eighth of an acre.
More local real estate shit. Rancho Palos Verdes is just falling in the ocean.
Yeah.
They shut off their power. They shut off their
They
gas.
evacuated it.
Yeah.
That's crazy because those are expensive houses.
It's 5 to 15 to 20 upwards millions of dollars.
And presumably a lot of like the people that moved in there in the past decade, that's kind of on you.
That is
I'm
on you,
sorry.
yes.
But a lot of these people presumably have lived there for a very long time. And the edge of the cliff has just gradually gotten closer and closer. And
there was, I believe, in one of the reports I saw, a big study in the 90s or 80s that was like, hey, just letting
we
everyone
should
know.
stop building shit over here.
This is going to fall, like, within the next couple of decades,
Yeah.
this is going to be uninhabitable. So anyone after that point, look, it's kinda on them.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's a great view until it isn't.
Well, yeah, yes, it is. The people that are living there now are kind of squatting in their homes because they've been told to evacuate.
Yeah.
And they're just running generators constantly, especially during this heat wave, although they are on the coast. But yeah, one of the richest neighborhoods in the entire county is just falling into the ocean right now.
Yeah, well, they saw it coming.
Yeah.
Ben Stiller's new movie contains real audio of child actor's 8-second fart the director snuck in. 8 seconds is a long fart. That's like a Kenny versus Spenny fart.
I literally had one this morning after a run.
8 seconds though?
I had
One.
let me tell you.
2.
And I was letting
Three.
it out slowly.
4.
I was letting it out
5,
slowly.
6, 7, 8. That whole time?
Yes, I'm telling you.
Jesus.
I had run 3 miles to the coffee shop. I had a coffee and a vegan donut.
Yep, that'll do it.
And then I walked outside and I ran a little bit and I went, oh, whoa, do I have to go to the bathroom? I didn't, but it was just the longest, most beautiful sounding fart.
And did it make you go faster?
I felt a lot
Like
better
an
afterwards,
afterburner?
yes. Yeah,
Whoa!
there was a lot of buildup in there. Yeah. Wait, if you ever run a marathon, wait till you do like your mid-marathon shit is glorious.
I'm not.
It's literally like hitting the nitrous, but the good kind, not the Kanye kind.
I don't like pooping when I'm sweaty.
You don't like sliding around on the toilet?
No. No.
Now that everyone's tuned out.
It's like taking a shit after you take a shower. It's just wrong. You should be dry when you take a shit.
You should literally take the shit before the shower. That way you're fully clean.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Bear cub driven by 2 men from northern Ontario to Windsor fed Taco Bell. Now there's going to be an 8-second fart.
Yeah. So luckily the bear is fine. This is not an RFK Jr. situation.
Okay.
The distance between Northern Ontario and Windsor, which is just across the bridge from Detroit, is like a 10-hour drive. They were up in Northern Ontario in the fucking wilderness. They saw an injured bear cub on the road and decided, let's take this guy with us, but also we gotta be back home in Windsor by nightfall. So we'll just take him somewhere down there. And
We have dinner at
oh shit, he's getting hungry. There we go, Taco Bell. Get him some of those cinnamon twists. Yeah, the kids love that shit. And yeah, they finally got down to Windsor and like called up local authorities and was like, where did you find this bear? It's like, oh, way up north. Why didn't you call someone up there? God damn it. I mean, thank you for keeping it alive, I guess, but this is the dumbest possible way to do this.
I mean, they could get charged with manslaughter for giving it Taco Bell.
Well, we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah.
They also, when they looked at it, they're like, this bear seems fine. What do you mean it was injured? They're like, I don't know. We saw it sitting in the road.
Injured enough to not attack them while they're driving, I guess.
It's a little cub.
Oh, God. It's stolen from some mama bear.
Yeah, you see a bear cub, you don't go fucking anywhere near that shit.
Just stay away from animals.
Stay away from animals.
This Weekly Weird News has turned into the Just Leave Animals Alone show.
Leave them alone. Mm-hmm. Voters beginning to think conservatives are weird, research suggests. Which, why is this news? It's news because this is a headline from the UK.
Oh, okay, good. Great.
So it's contagious. It's crossing over oceans.
Because it's working.
It is interesting, though, because their conservatives are very different than ours. And the weird aspect over there has more to do with the fact that conservatives, compared to labor, are disproportionately, they're all posh private school boys who grew up with like servants and shit and are not relatable really
That's what's so weird about our conservative party too, because a lot of them are exactly like that as well.
But our conservatives pretend that,
there's
our conservatives pretend that they grew up tough and like doing work around the farm and shit, even when that's like objectively not fucking true. Like fucking RFK Jr. tried to portray, he called himself a redneck. I'm like, sir, you are Kennedy. Over the UK, I mean,
he is red though.
Their conservatives do hunt, but they do like fucking fox hunting, like the most sadistic form of, yeah, just the most like bougie forms of hunting possible.
Well, and also endangered species and large game. You know, we've all seen those guys with the Elliot mustache and the safari cap.
Yes. What a beautiful elephant.
It'll look great in my wall of death.
So yeah, their conservatives are weird in the sense that they're all like upper crust fucking aliens who no one can relate to. Whereas our conservatives are weird because they want to look inside your pants to see whether you have a penis or vagina.
Yeah.
So, Apple Lord.
Look, I'm glad the tactic's working.
Yeah.
We've been trying it for
They
so
are
long,
weird.
and finally,
Ours are weird. Theirs are weird.
Yeah, it's finally time to start calling them out for it. Anyways, that's it for our episode. Remember to like the video. Click the join button if you want to support the channel.
Join.
Leave a comment, reply to a comment, get a conversation going. And please, if you haven't seen it already, we have some heavy hitters this week. We've got Jacob Wall and Jack Berkman.
It's a crazy week for conservative grifters.
Utilizing AI to launch an entirely new grift. And we also have Russia funding conservative talking heads and influencers.
Yeah.
Who, according to them, were unwitting.
They're the real victims.
Dude, the amount of people that are like, don't talk to the FBI. There's so many conservative guys that are like begging. Well. Turns out it actually is the guys that you think it is because, folks, according to an indictment that was made public on Wednesday of this week, the Russian government was surreptitiously funneling millions of dollars into the bank accounts of some very prominent right-wing influencers, including Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, Dave Rubin, Matt Christensen, and Lauren Southern, through a series of shell companies. Now, these content creators have already claimed to have been the victims in this scheme. Victims, despite being paid upwards of $100,000 per video to sow division among American citizens and spread blatant Russian disinformation. Now, it's been a wild 24 hours as we've read through the indictments and witnessed countless video clips and statements that become kind of more damning with the benefit of hindsight.
Yeah.
Also, I can't even, we're doing a serious story and you got a mustache.
Well, I guess it's time to let everyone know. Internet Today has been a 6-year sting operation, and you are all under arrest. Turn around and spread them.
Get that push broom out of here. It better be gone by Monday.
We'll see. Who knows what's going to be there Monday? If I take any more off,
yeah, you're gonna
look what happens.
Looking like
you don't want that.
Tucker Carlson.
Looking like someone else. Of course, it's always seemed extremely suspicious that these particular conservative influencers seem to just always take the side of the Kremlin on countless issues, especially as it relates to the Ukraine war. But it's not just that, it's the general chaos that they've attempted to sow by latching on to the most extreme side of whatever current culture war topic is, the narratives that they've pushed, which have actual real-world consequences for minority groups, and the constant claim that the country is literally on the verge of World War III.
Or a civil war. Tim Pool, and
he has tweeted out civil war, I believe, hundreds of times at this point. And never turns out to be the case. But one of these days, he's going to be right.
And then we're all going to look so
silly. Going to be like, I'm sorry for making fun of the fact that you wear a beanie at all hours, in all seasons of the year. So no, we're not at all surprised that these guys were easy marks for a Russian influence campaign. The Kremlin wouldn't even have to change much of their content in the first place. But the financial incentives to keep regurgitating these talking points almost certainly emboldened them.
Yeah, a question that we've seen raised a lot since this news broke is, what's worse? That these guys either knowingly participated in a Russian disinformation campaign, or that they were so stupid they had no idea that they were being played by the Russians, despite mysteriously and suddenly making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, in some cases, to spread disinformation to an audience that was all too eager to believe every word of it.
And this raises an interesting point because, yeah, for most of us, including us, if someone showed up with $100,000 to make one video, I'd be like, something's going on here. This is suspicious. But in the conservative media ecosystem, these people are making bank all the time. off of content that does not justify that kind of money, but there are forces at play, usually domestic forces, but in this case, foreign forces, that, they see that spending this money gets results, so they do it.
We'll get to the quote, the exact quote, but at one point, Tim Pool even says that, like, he had only spoken to the person that had secured this deal twice in the last year.
It's so sketchy.
Maybe question it more.
Yeah, anyway, we would love to show a bunch of the clips from their shows as examples of all this. They're out there, but yeah, the one surefire tactic that they still have is copyright claiming any videos that air those clips.
Yeah.
Hell, Tim Pool, in his infinite wisdom, recently said that he was going to sue the Kamala Harris campaign for simply posting one of his clips and quoting him. And yeah, kind of funny that the second he says he's gonna sue Kamala Harris, FBI knocking at his door.
That is literally the take of Jack Prilosek.
Oh, it is.
As if the DOJ can whip up this indictment.
Hey, go write a 100-page indictment. We got, I don't know, 12 hours. We're going to whip up a conspiracy out of whole cloth overnight because some YouTuber hasn't even filed a lawsuit, just says he's going to.
And then also we're going to need a ton of information, including wire transfers, Discord conversations.
Got to make it look really believable.
Just absolutely insane.
These are the people we're dealing with. They're not very smart.
But since we can't show clips, we can at least quote from one of the more egregious clips that are making the rounds. Keeping in mind that this dude was allegedly paid millions of dollars by Russia to produce content in recent months. Here's what Tim Pool said about Ukraine recently while getting very angry and literally pounding his desk.
I love when he gets angry because, like, I think in his mind, he's like, I'm getting real fucking, I'm instilling fear. I'm really projecting confidence and strength, but he
comes off as a toddler throwing a fit.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's a quote from the video that's making the rounds, and the clip will be linked down below. This is what he said. "This is psychotic. Ukraine is the enemy of this country. Ukraine is our enemy, being funded by the Democrats. I will stress again, one of the greatest enemies of our nation right now is Ukraine. Ukraine is the greatest threat to this nation and to the world. We should rescind all funding and financing, pull out all military support, and we should apologize to Russia."
Wow, okay. I mean, listen, like, I think there are valid criticisms of the U.S. relationship with Ukraine, but this is literally just the exact position of the Russian government.
And as we'll see later on, going down the line of a bunch of issues that are very real in America, their entire purpose is to point out these things and exacerbate them through people like this to kick up storm and sow division. That's the entire point. We saw it happen between Black Lives Matter and all this stuff back in during the pandemic in 2016. There's multiple books written about it by people who literally built the programs that allowed them to do this. There's a great one by the guy who helped code Cambridge Analytica called Mindfuck.
Yeah, they're just turning up the thermostat and getting everyone all agitated.
But of course, that sounds pretty suspicious, even when he originally said it. And it actually sounds kind of treasonous now that the funding has been exposed.
Yeah, Tim.
But Pool has gone into complete chaos mode in the hours since the indictment was released, refuting previous claims, making up new ones, and continuing to dig his hole deeper. Also, just putting out numerous contradictory claims as jokes. But we'll get into that.
Doth protest.
We'll get into that in a second.
The company that they were all being paid to produce content for was called Tenet Media.
And I want to be clear.
No relation to Christopher Nolan's film, which I still haven't seen.
The producing content thing, as clarified by their own statements, and I want to be very clear here because whatever, they were licensing clips and podcast stuff. And
so they weren't even producing original content?
Some of them might have been, but specifically in Tim Pool's case, they were taking like clips and putting it on their thing. They were licensing and funding parts
of it. That's even crazy. Yeah. Someone shows up with a briefcase
and you're
with $1 million and they're like, okay, so what do you want me to make? Oh no, you don't have to make anything.
What you're doing.
Just you have to literally do nothing. We're just licensing clips from your existing show to put on this other channel.
Now have fun buying the local skate park with all this money. And like we said, we'll get into the Tenet corporate structure and the details of the indictment next, but let's take a quick peek at the type of videos that they were putting up over there. These are just some of the recent videos on the official Tenet Media YouTube page. CIA and FBI at war with Alex Jones. Woke police are not woke police are not doing their jobs. Illegals are in your city. The war on men, and this one obviously has Charlie Kirk in it. Migrant crime is surging. Harry Potter's betrayal of J.K. Rowling.
They're playing all the hits.
Protesters are all ugly, and that one features the quarter. We are being replaced? San Francisco Pride. The slippery slope is very real. Canada is becoming a communist hellhole. Should we feel bad for Harvey Weinstein's victims?
Wait, what?
The media is lying about Project 2025, and so on and so forth.
I wasn't aware the Harvey Weinstein thing was a culture war issue. I was under the impression that what he did was bad, and we should feel bad for the victims because he sexually assaulted them and then had them blacklisted from Hollywood. But hey, maybe there's
This
a
is the
different
kind of
point
stuff
of view.
that Tenet loves, and they saw that clip and they're like, cool, let's put that on our own platform.
So the info section of Tenet Media explains that the company is a network of heterodox commentators that focus on Western political and cultural issues. Our goal is to support creators who question institutions that believe themselves to be above questioning. In our view, all issues du jour merit rigorous and honest discussion if one wants to come closest to the truth. For those interested in authentic coverage of the topics that matter most, Tenet Media is your home for content. Fearless voices live here.
And then you can assume, a couple steps down, they also said, and we love their warm water ports.
Yes. So yeah, it's all hilariously shameful in retrospect, or shameless, I guess. But now that you've got an idea of the content that was being produced for this company and by whom, let's check out the DOJ's indictment itself to see how this all went down. Links to the press release, indictment, and anything else we reference will be down in the description below. An indictment charging Russian nationals Konstantin Kalashnikov, 31, also known as Kostya, and Elena Afanasieva, 27, also known as Elena, with conspiracy to violate the Foreign Agents Registration Act, FARA, and conspiracy to commit money laundering, was unsealed today in the Southern District of New York. Kalashnikov and Afanasieva are at large.
According to the court documents, RT, formerly known as Russia Today, is a state-controlled media outlet funded and directed by the government of Russia. Over at least the past year, RT and its employees, including Kalashnikov and Afanasieva, deployed nearly $10 million to covertly finance and direct a Tennessee-based online content creation company, U.S. Company One, now known to be Tenet Media. In turn, Company One published English-language videos on multiple social media channels, including TikTok, Instagram, X, and YouTube. Since publicly launching in or about November 2023, U.S. Company One has posted nearly 2,000 videos that have garnered more than 16 million views on YouTube alone. Many of the videos posted by Company One contain commentary on events and issues in the U.S., such as immigration, inflation, and other topics related to domestic and foreign policy. While the views expressed in the videos are not uniform, most are directed to publicly stated goals of the government of Russia and RT, to amplify domestic divisions in the United States. In order to carry out RT's secret influence campaign in the United States, Kalashnikov and Afanasieva operated under covert identity. Posing as an outside editor, Kalashnikov edited content, monitored funding and hiring, and introduced Afanasieva as a member of his purported editing team. Using the fake personas Helena Shubza and Victoria Pesty, Afanasieva posted and directed the posting of hundreds of videos.
Afanasieva also collected information from and gave instructions to Company One staff. For example, after the March 22, 2024 terrorist attack on a music venue in Moscow, Afanasieva asked one of Company One's founders to blame Ukraine and the United States for the attack, writing, "I think we can focus on the Ukraine-US angle." The mainstream media spread fake news that ISIS claimed responsibility for the attack, yet ISIS itself never made such statements. All terrorists are now detained while they were heading to the border with Ukraine, which makes it even more suspicious why they would want to go to Ukraine to hide. And they go on to talk about the wire transfers and shell companies in places like the UAE and Turkey, which would eventually land in the pockets of the previously mentioned influencers. So now that we've covered the overall scope of this project, let's look at some of the important details as it relates directly to those influencers. And here's Will Sommer writing for the Washington Post.
Most of the 6 members of Tenet's talent team claim they did not know the money was coming from Russia. Canadian activist Lauren Southern has not issued a statement as of this writing. The indictment alleges that Tenet's founders and Russian backers misled at least two of them, Pool and Rubin, about the source of Tenet's funding by inventing a fictitious Belgian investor named Edouard Grigorian.
Hello, I am Edouard Grigorian, Belgian investor.
The news that some of the right's biggest online stars had apparently unwittingly taken millions from the Kremlin provoked a wave of schadenfreude from their critics. On X, never-Trump conservative writer Christian Vanderbroek quipped that Tenet stars managed to see conspiracy theories everywhere, yet never questioned why a mysterious Belgian was paying them to prop up a little-watched YouTube channel. Lauren Chen and her husband aren't named in the indictment, but Tennessee corporate records identify them as Tenet founders. Prosecutors allege that the founders knew their funding was coming from Moscow and privately acknowledged in messages to each other that their backers were Russian.
This is so stupid. This is...
Well, we're lucky it was so stupid because they got caught.
Yeah, I just... this is just... It's so funny because, obviously the whole, Russia trying to influence America, it's been going on at this point for nearly a decade.
Well, more, but in the most recent aspect of it, yes.
In this context, and, in terms of, how it's worked before this, it hasn't, it hasn't been the way a lot of liberals picture it, where, half the people I'm talking to on Twitter are, Russian paid shills and bots and shit. It's been,
There is that, but...
I mean, it exists, but it's mostly just let's create a bunch of fucking, Facebook pages to, get people riled up.
They are fanning the flames of everything that's already happening and making it worse. That's the whole point.
But, something like this, we haven't seen anything on this level. In all the years since, the Russiagate stuff...
Cambridge Analytica was a pretty fucking big deal.
I mean... Maybe, but we're talking about actually literally Russians hiring Americans to spout Russian propaganda. That's not something that's happened. And it is very funny to me that in 2024, when the whole Russiagate stuff is kind of just something people see as a thing of the past, something like this comes up and it's oh, okay. A lot harder to hand wave this one away.
It is.
Anyway, Chen, who uses the social media handle Roaming Millennial, is well connected on the right. She has 572,000 YouTube subscribers on her own channel, and until recently hosted 2 online shows for Glenn Beck's website, The Blaze. In an email, Blaze CEO Tyler Carden said Lauren Chen was an independent contractor whose contract has been terminated. And the article goes on to talk about the financing again and how it was divvied up amongst the team of creators. Dave Rubin received $400,000 a month for 16 videos, plus a performance bonus and a $100,000 signing bonus, all for a series in which Rubin commented on dumb internet clips that often received just roughly 1,000 views per episode. Jesus. Tenet also proved lucrative for Pool, who made $100,000 per episode for a weekly show he hosted, according to prosecutors. But he did not get that bonus. Nope, not as good of a negotiator as Dave Rubin. The same month that Tenet launched, Pool purchased a skate park in Martinsburg, West Virginia, as well as other significant real estate purchases in the same area. Rubin and Pool initially asked for more information about where the money was coming from, prompting the Russians to invent Edouard Grigorian, a fictional Belgian banker committed to free speech in the United States.
Jesus Christ.
Again, you Google the name. See, okay, Edouard Grigorian, Belgian investor.
Someone has got to have been talking about this guy throughout the past couple of years.
This guy must have some fucking evidence that he exists on the internet.
Not just a one sheet that was provided by the Russians, or maybe on what I assume, because we'll get to another part of this investigation where they had just a bunch of websites that were operating. But if you see a website where the only info about this guy is on a website that you've never fucking heard of before, that you should be a little more suspicious.
Just zero due diligence. And I'm the stuff about parroting Russian talking points directly because Russia paid you to do it, that's bad, but it's okay, that seems it's not surprising for this crowd of people. But the fact that they're just not doing any due diligence, I'm just that makes me lose respect.
As just one example, I remember 2 or 3 years ago, an underwear company approached us. One Google search led to the CEO of that company's Twitter page, which was filled with crazy right-wing shit. And just that alone, I was no.
Yeah, we do more due diligence for our
Fucking,
advertisers.
like Black Rifle coffee companies like approached us, and there's a couple more that are just like bizarre to the point where you're like, this feels like a trap.
Yeah, an Israeli company almost got us, but we caught it at the last.
That's right. Yeah.
But like again, like that's when someone's paying you to represent them. Due diligence is something you should get up to, and they didn't do any of that fucking shit. Anyway, Gregorian's name was misspelled. Come on many documents, and the influencers could find no evidence online that he worked at the real bank where he claimed to have made his money. But hey, the check cleared.
Yeah. There's a whole lot more, including one section of the indictment where one of the founders tried to connect with someone at the parent company for overdue invoices, and when they didn't get an immediate response, went ahead, opened up a tab, and searched for what time it was in Moscow.
So she fucking knew. Lauren and her husband.
Also, a pretty funny part where Tenet Media was upset by the lack of viewership the channel was getting and insisted that the hosts weren't doing enough to promote the brand, which is, it's funny because that's a conversation that literally anyone who's worked in online media has had with their bosses at one point or another.
Well, yeah, and like I was comparing this.
Turn on the viral hose.
Like Machinima would always, like in Machinima's like heyday where they had the VC money was flowing, they'd be like, hey, this YouTuber's getting like millions of views per video. Let's pay him like a stupid amount of money to make a video that we put on our channel. And then they're like, why isn't this getting views? It's like, okay, first of all, it's because you're publishing 50 videos a day and it just gets completely lost.
Second of all,
you didn't include promotion in the contract, you fucking idiot. That costs more money. You have to state the terms of promotion. Otherwise, they're not going to tell their fans to go watch this video.
Also, that creator you're never going to get the spillover of views that would get on their own channel. So dumb. Anyways, yes, it's a very common conversation, or at least it was when the industry existed.
Yeah, I'll make your content, but if you want me to tweet about it, that's going to cost you extra. You got to put that in writing.
So in another very funny admission within the indictment, the founders talk about promoting the video of Tucker Carlson visiting the grocery store in Russia. But they thought it was too obvious.
Yeah, that was the one where he's like, wow, these shopping carts, you have to pay $0.25 to unlock them. And that's, that means that people aren't stealing them.
And you get your quarter back and I'm like, return it.
Motherfucker, you been to an Aldi?
No, he's never
like, yeah, he's just like really just showing his ass. Just like, I have never actually been to
any grocery store,
any real place in America, the country that I constantly say is going to shit.
Even the people operating this Russian-backed company were like, this is too obvious.
Yeah, so on or about February 15th, Afansieva shared a video of a well-known U.S. political commentator visiting a grocery store in Russia.
Oh, who could that be?
Who could that? Side note, I fucking love in these government indictments. We saw this with, like, I think the one in Georgia with Trump, where, like, I don't know the exact reasons, but when they don't name names.
Yeah.
They list.
But it's very obvious.
They designate people with specific designations, like
commentator one,
yeah,
whatever.
But it's like, it's so fucking easy to just do like a little bit of connecting the dots and figuring out exactly who each of these people are.
Also very funny, a screenshot from CBS News where they blur.
Oh, yeah.
They blur Tim Pool's face.
You can see the Timcast on the wall.
You can see it has a beanie on and everything.
I wonder who that could be. It could have been anyone. Is that Dr. Disrespect?
I bet he's really upset that he didn't get to cash in on this.
Yeah, I know.
He's probably desperate for some kind of money now.
Anyways, Afansieva posted the video in the producer Discord channel. Later that day, producer 1 privately messaged founder 2 on Discord. They wanted to post this, but it just feels like overt shilling. Founder 2 replied that founder 1 thinks we should put it out there. Producer 1 acquiesced, responding, all right, I'll put it out tomorrow. They literally thought Tucker Carlson was shilling too hard for Russia. Woo. But before we leave the Washington Post article behind and look into how these influencers responded to the indictment, we have to share this part because it's too good. As the indictment news shook up the right-wing media world, much of the reaction, naturally, came in the form of YouTube live streams. On his show Wednesday, Poole claimed that he was skateboarding when he heard of the indictment and said he talked to Chen, the head of a company that was paying him $100,000 a week, only twice in the past year.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have missed that news. I was out skateboarding.
I wonder who that's. I was doing sick tricks at the skate park, the local skate park that I stole from the local community.
They hate me for it. Yeah. Insane. And look, I'm going to get a little serious here for a moment because, as you all know, I have family members who are brain frozen. I just want to point out Obviously, everyone is in the right to make fun of people like Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, Lauren Southern, and all them for unwittingly promoting Russian disinformation. And it's even funnier that they didn't even have to like coax them into it. They're just like, just keep doing what you're doing. This is working out great. Yeah. And look, there are no shortage of jokes about how much of a waste of money it was considering how low the views were on the Tenet Media page. But I feel like everyone who's joking about it is missing a bigger picture here. They were getting paid absurd amounts of money to do very little extra work. And based on their own admissions about being influenced or not, these are all things they actually believe and promote regardless.
Yeah, it's not like they had to really change anything up.
Now, sure, this seems like a giant waste of money for Russia, but it's honestly just a drop in the bucket for them. Meanwhile, the amount of money that was directly funding these guys perpetuates their success and existence on YouTube and elsewhere. It's not like they're good. That money extends the rest of their shows. It funds all of the other stuff. It's not just going away. And it has raised their status among literal members of the GOP. They bought property, they funded productions, they paid employees, they bought fucking Cybertrucks and skate parks. This isn't just a case of, oh, well, they did a failed channel that failed, haha. No, they're still making this exact type of content on their own, with the added bonus of a few $million to fund the whole thing. And also, we all know how algorithms work by now. Any engagement with their personal channels, or the ones that were directly tied to Tenet Media, would send a user down a rabbit hole filled with more of this exact type of garbage. Just because a massive amount of people weren't consuming it directly from the Tenet Media page on YouTube doesn't mean they weren't having this served to them elsewhere either. Also, no shortage of jokes about how dumb their viewers must feel right now. But their viewers would have to have a shred of self-reflection to feel that way, or the ability to question the narrative that they've been blasted with for a decade now. Every hot take is made under the impression that you're dealing with rational people and not willfully stupid assholes with the worst intention who have been slowly brain poisoned since at least 2016. And every joke is being made under the impression that their viewers will just see the news and say, oh, I guess I was fooled. You got me. I'll be normal now.
No such luck.
Sorry, as someone who has lost family members to conservative brain rot, this legitimately pisses me off. I spoke to family members about this, and when one of them found out about the accusations and how they were related to Russia, he flipped and claimed that it was fake news perpetuated by Democrats to attack free speech. So no, I don't think this is all one big joke, though there are a bunch of funny subplots. There's a lot of funny stuff in
Certainly.
this. Like how much Tim Pool seems to be freaking out because he's quite literally posting through.
Tim, this is your lawyer. I'm asking you to keep on posting that shit.
Keep posting.
So yeah, in response to the indictment, most of the content creators claimed that actually they're the victims, despite getting paid millions of dollars in the process. Tim Pool had a unique response because his was clearly not